BookTube, it's Louise, the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a lovely day wherever it is you are and whatever it is you are doing. Hello, lovely to see you again. Welcome back to my little corner of the internet. 3 things I need to address immediately. 1, I've gone silver. Oh yes. In this light you actually can really see. I would show it you with my hair down, but it is a warm day. And frankly, I'm just too hot. So it has gone up, but you can see the silver and I'm loving it. I am loving the silver life. I've had it for a week now. I'm still in that stage where I get surprised. So I go past the mirror. Sorry, I'm just going to move a little bit. I go past the mirror or I see a reflection of myself and I go, oh, my word. Who is that creature? And it's me with my silver hair. And yes, it was darker. Even a week ago it was darker, but it is lightening. That's because my hair has got a lot of white in it. And that is resistant to any kind of dye. But yeah, loving it. Loving the silver life. So that's good. I have just noticed something on the window. I don't know whether it's a wasp or if it's a flying ant. Kind of hope it's a wasp rather than a flying ant. Can't see any others, so I'm thinking it might just be a wasp. You just stay up there and I'll just stay over here. So we'll just leave it at that. Second thing, I've been away a little while. Well, not on purpose, it was just life stuff. The whole world is tricky to navigate at times. And we all need to take a little break, and I did. And it was great. We've had some good times. The husband and I celebrated our silver wedding, which was fabulous. There will be more celebrations later in the year to do with that, which will be fun. So we've been to London. We've had some time off around the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, which I seem to be actually celebrating with the hair, really. I should have just said I've gone platinum for the Queen, which I haven't. And that was great. We enjoyed our time off. We had time off around that period and we were able to do some day trips here and there. So that's been great. Third thing is I'm looking at my laundry, which is actually dry and I could collect it in, but I'm looking at my brand new peg bag. Oh yeah. Fresh as a daisy. That's what it says on it. New peg bag. Very pleased with it. Even treated myself to new pegs. Couldn't start a video without talking about my laundry, in particular my brand new peg bag, which I have showed on Instagram today. So if you are following me on Instagram, you can actually see a picture of it. You lucky things, you. So yeah, I think I've put laundry chat with Louise. Could be the start of a new series. So yeah, talking about chats, I'm considering doing yarn chat again. I used to do a series of videos where it was I think I did it once a week or once a fortnight, where I talked about my knitting, my crochet, yarn, the yarny stuff, stitching in general. And it was really lovely. 1 or 2 people have contacted me and said, we'd love to join you again for more yarn chat. So if you are interested, if you'd leave a comment in the comment box below, that would be great, so I can kind of get a feeling for if people would like it. That would be nice. And then if you like the video, please do press the like button and subscribe so that more people can find us and we can do more lovely little book chats and yarn chats and laundry chats, and just generally I've got stuck on the word chats. Do you ever do that, where you just get stuck on a word? The other day it was safe. And I don't know why, but I got stuck on the word safe. And I kept saying, oh, no, that would be very nice and safe to do that. And I was like, well, what's my issue? What's my issue? Why is everything dangerous and I need to go for safety? It's a very bizarre day, but yeah, safe. Anyway, let's just talk about books. Let's talk about books, friends, on this very warm day. Woof! I've got a stack of Agatha Christie's. Oh, yeah, she's been getting me through. Getting back into the reading, we're talking Agatha, so this is a selection. So I went on a real Miss Marple binge. Wonderful journey, I think, perhaps, rather than binge. I just really have been enjoying my Miss Marples. So Miss Marple is a female detective. She's not a detective, she's just somebody that the police know are really good at solving mysteries, and she does it through her knowledge of human nature and human behaviour from observing people in her village, in her close-knit community of St Mary's Mead, made up fictional English village. And she sees similarities, she understands the depth of human nature, and that not everybody is lovely all the time, and she sees patterns in behaviour, and she applies psychology basically, although it's not said that way, and she understands people, and she can solve murders that way. So she's introduced to us in Agatha Christie's The Murder at the Vicarage. If ever you were interested in trying a cosy crime and you didn't know where to start, then this is a great start. People do still say, I haven't read Agatha Christie. Never apologise, because you have got the glory of reading them again and enjoying them again. You've got how glorious is that? You've got all these books that you've got yet to have, and you can, how lucky are you? But this is a great way to start with Miss Marple. It is her first one, and it is the typical English country village, close community murder. Very it deals with the kind of the social figures in the village. So you've got the vicar, and you've got the doctor, and you've got the landed gentry, or the kind of wealthy man, and you've got the ladies that help in the church, and it's brilliant. Who come over for tea and scandal. So yes, it's a great introduction into cosy crimes, into cosy mysteries, the forerunner of Midsummer Murders. Oh yes. So this is the one. So this is the Colonel was dead. There was no doubt about it. There, as large as life, or should I say death, lying sprawled across across a desk in a horridly unnatural position, and it's solved by Miss Marple. Bit of a spoiler then, but you can't do. They all get wrapped up in the end, and it's great, and I really enjoyed it. Because I enjoyed it so much, that is just such a glorious colour. It kind of matches with my outfit, my t-shirt. I went on to the next Miss Marple, and the next Miss Marple is The Body in the Library. This is again set in St Mary Mead, and you're introduced to Miss Marple in this one. I'm going to put it here, and in this one, Miss Marple is front and centre. She is best friends, or she's exceptionally good friends with Dolly, who lives at Gossington Hall. And the blonde lying on the hearth rug in the library had been strangled with the sash of her white evening dress. But no one at Gossington Hall had ever seen her before. But the owners of Gossington Hall call on their friend from the village for advice, and it is Miss Marple who finds the thread linking all the clues, and she does indeed. So again, this has landed gentry, it has village gossip, it has wealthy people, it has English seaside, it has the chief constable being involved. So it's a lovely, cosy crime. As with all of these things, there is that understanding of human nature, and that however cosy Agatha Christie is, and she is, there is no doubt about it, not everybody is pleasant. I think there is a kind of a myth surrounding them that everybody's lovely and everybody's charming. They're not, and nasty things happen. Sometimes they don't happen to very nice people, and sometimes they do. So I always think that they are cosy, but with a little bit of a bite. So yes. And I think that's why Agatha Christie is so loved, because you go into it and actually find that there's a little bit more to it than you were expecting. Yet it is still a delightful read. Agatha Christie's The Moving Finger was my next one. It is the next Miss Marple, I believe. And this is set in Limstock. My only gripe with this is that there isn't enough Marple. I think it's a bit Marple light, and I think Agatha was trying not to get stuck with the issue with Hercule Poirot. So in Hercule Poirot, her Belgian detective, he's front and centre. It's always Hercule Poirot that's, is involved quite quickly into the murder mystery. And I think she was trying with Miss Marple's to not have Miss Marple there all the time, and that gave her a wider scope. But then there are times it's how does she get Miss Marple into the mystery? And this is one of those ones where she does it, but it's not, I don't think it's altogether successfully. It's a really good mystery. I do find one of the relationships is a bit, I don't really understand it, but I listened to this. It was narrated by Hugh Fraser, and I did enjoy it still. So yeah, so I listened to that one, and that was The Moving Finger, which is about poison pen letters and also murder. Always murder. This is Agatha Christie's A Murder is Announced. This was my next one with the fabulous Joan Hickson on the cover, who plays Miss Marple. This was who Agatha saw as Miss Marple. And everybody has their favourite Marple. This is my favourite Marple. Joan Hickson, to watch is my favourite. Her husband likes Geraldine McEwen, who, God rest her soul, she's no longer with us. And as neither is Joan. But yeah, I still go back to these. I still love them. They're just brilliant. And I love everything about those adaptations. And I watch them just for, if you're having a day when you're feeling a bit mithered, as in can't get your head to sit straight, your thoughts are intrusive and not comfortable, and whatever you seem to do, it doesn't seem to help. Those are days when I'm feeling mithered. It's a northern term, and anybody from the north of England would immediately know what I meant. And it is a real particular feeling when you're feeling mithered. I often sometimes, like, if you're feeling a bit hormonal, that can be feeling a bit mithered because you don't know what it is. You don't know why your clothes aren't sitting right that day. That kind of feeling is feeling mithered. Then pop a Miss Marple on for me. Pop a Miss Marple, pop a Joan Hickson on. Jobs are good and I am sorted. I am happier. Yeah. So this is A Murder is Announced. This is set in I don't know what village this is set in, but it's A Murder is Announced and will take place on Friday, October the 29th, my dad's birthday, at Little Paddocks at 6:30 p.m. The ad in the local paper is a joke, of course, in bad taste, of course. But none of Miss Blacklock's friends can resist calling on her at the appointed hour. Certainly not Miss Marple. Actually, that's Miss Bleedings. Miss Marple doesn't. But this, this is one of the more. This has a bite to it. This book, and I love it for that. And I listened to this being narrated not by Hugh Fraser. I can't remember who it was. So those were my Marples, and I read another couple of books, and then I read A Pocketful of Rye. Yes. Was this a Read 20? I don't think it was. I'm doing the Read Agatha 22, which is on Instagram, and this month's A Murder in Mesopotamia. I'm listening to that on audiobook, and it is brilliant. Oh yes. But I read A Pocketful of Rye, which again is a Miss Marple, but she's not in it enough for me. Rex, the unfortunate victim, of course, means king. He's the equivalent of the counting house. The queen in the library parlour has left her bread and honey, and the murderer did put a clothes peg on Gladys's nose, which is just nasty. So yes, I read that one. I had read it last year, I think, but I needed to read it again because I needed a bit more Marple. That is a very good adaptation. Oh, I'm missing a book. I should have brought a book that I'm reading upstairs. So these two I have read. These are my last two Agathas that I'm going to show you because of a book called A is for Arsenic by Kathryn Harkup. What I will do tomorrow is I will post a picture on Instagram and it will have that book on it with these books as well. And it is a book that has 14 chapters, all about a different poison that Agatha uses, or not Agatha uses, oh yes, Agatha uses as a poison that kills people in her books. Agatha worked in dispensaries in the First World and actually in the Second World War, and so she's credited in a lot of her books in the fact that the actions of the poisons are correct and how they are used is correct, and her understanding of the pharmaceutical properties of the poisons is exceptional, and that's because of her dispensary pharmaceutical background. And if you don't know, I'm a pharmacy technician. I've recently recently, in the last 3 years, qualified as a pharmacy technician, and I do think Agatha did play a part, because I've always thought that working in a dispensary, working in a pharmacy, in a hospital would be brilliant. And I'm sure it is because of when I was younger, I was reading these books which do have people working in dispensaries, and I always thought it would be a lovely career, and now I get to do it every day. So how cool is that? But I read these two because of the poisons in them. So of course, sparkling cyanide, poison is cyanide, C is for cyanide in the book. I haven't read this one for years, and do you know what? I'm not even sure I did actually read it when I was younger. I remember the film, the 1980s film with Anthony Andrews. I can picture it like I watched it yesterday, and I haven't watched it since the 80s. But obviously it did make an impression on me, because I remember that film really well. Apparently there was a film in the 2000s, which I haven't seen, but showing my age. And I had a vague kind of, I think I know who did it. But the book was so much more than that. It's a really good book. It was All Souls Day, the Day of the Dead. In a luxurious hotel, 6 people sat down to dinner at the table. In the alcove, a table laid for 7. Only 6 people sit down because a year ago somebody had died at the table drinking sparkling cyanide. And it kind of goes from the back and the beginning, and it's such a good book. Such a good book. I'd forgotten how good Sparkling Cyanide is. It is a standalone. It has Colonel Race in, and if you read some of the kind of how to read the books in order and what to read, they will say the Colonel Race books. I mean, he's a very minor character. He is in it, but he is a minor character. But yeah, Sparkling Cyanide. Look at that cover with that blood shooting out. Oh, really good. And lastly, it was the 3-act tragedy, which is a gorgeous cover. It is a Hercule Poirot. What did I do when I was younger? I think I was cutting out the Pan logo, and I cut it out, and instead of copying it, I cut it out from a book, and I left it like that. Did I have no sense? No, I didn't. So 3-act tragedy. It's an Hercule Poirot mystery. Oh, it's so good, and I love the David Suchet adaptation of this. Love it, love it, love it. Because it has that actor in whose name I can't remember. What's his name? Martin somebody. Can you bear with me for 2 seconds as I look it up? Because I'm going to have to tell you his name, because he is great in it. 3-act tragedy. 3-act tragedy. Book. Videos, here we are. Maybe there's a video, maybe it'll say video. Audio book. No, 3-act tragedy. Bear with. I'm gonna get it. Cast is Martin Shaw. I wanted to say Martin Short, but Martin Shaw, who, heart flutter, yes. So I watch it for both David Suchet's fabulous portrayal of Hercule Poirot and Martin Shaw being Martin Shaw, quite frankly. Oh yes I do. So yes, 3-act tragedy. It's very good. Hercule Poirot, kind of mid of the cycle of Hercule Poirot's. I don't think it's one of the best. I don't think it's one of the worst, but I do find it an enjoyable read. I think I read it last year and I've read it again this year because of the poison. So the poison in this is nicotine. So N is for nicotine. So that was why I read that book. So it was good. Very good use of nicotine. And talking about how nicotine was used to poison wasps' nests. And so it was a readily available poison. Don't you know? So there we go. That's it. That's my little, let me show you my obligatory stack of books. I have read other books, but I didn't want this video to be too long, and I thought it could be. So let's do it so you can actually see it. Oh, they're just all so white, aren't they? Is there any way I can do it? You can read it. Can't read it. You can read it. You can't read it. Anyway, there's the book. So there we go. There we go, BookTube. Back in the saddle, back at it. Talking about Agatha's. Knocked over my little cow figure. If you've been hearing any thumpings, that's the lad upstairs. The lad is upstairs. He's playing games. whilst chatting to his friends. And when you're playing games and chatting with your friends, it does mean that you have to leap around. Who knew? Just let you know that. Okay, hope you're well. Hope you've been having a good day. And this has been lovely, BookTube. Let's do it again. Bye.